Hi, ladies. It's Marie. I wanted to get on today and do a Facebook Live about, it's the last day of January. Usually, this is the time that people have already let go of their New Year's resolutions and haven't really, and kind of have already let go of that kind of feeling of a fresh start and this optimism of things can change and this is going to be my year and all of that stuff. And I'm here to say that January 1st is just a day. The beginning of the year is a moment that we all use because we need it to like start new. And this is even in the beginning of a decade. And it just sounds really great to say it's the beginning of the new year. It's the beginning of a decade. Like this year's going to be different and all this stuff. And then by the time we get like halfway through the year and crap happens, or I don't know, we bit off more than we could chew. And we get to the end of the month, which is today, and February's coming. It's like, you know, um, oh well, oh well. And I'll get to that later or whatever. And for me, I'm Catholic. So another one that I use to motivate me besides the beginning of the year is Lent, right? At Lent, I'll do something. At Lent, I'll pick it back up. So what I'm trying to say here is that, yes, wherever you stand on your word of the year, what you're willing to give up, what you're willing to own, wherever you stand on those commitments you made in maybe just the quiet of your soul or out loud, a lot of people are doing that sober January or no drink January or whatever it was that you did that maybe you haven't held up or haven't done as good of a job as you thought in your mind, or just completely blew off after a couple of days. I'm here to tell you that that is okay, and that every single day is an opportunity to change your life. And you don't need a January 1st, you don't need Lent, you don't need a group, or you don't even need goals. You just need, honestly, the way that I find the women that say yes to my program, the women that say yes to change, are actually in pain. And I know that sounds crazy, but you actually have to be in pain in order to make change in your life. And whether it be a big friggin' wake up call on health or somebody you love, if it be just something that happens at work, that is just a big fat ugh, in your face, whether it's just, I cannot, those elusive moments where change happens, where you're like, I cannot live like this any longer. Um, and the women that I know that say yes to a different life, say yes to change, say yes to trying something different, saying yes to my life can be different, are those that are feeling the pain, whether it be stress or sadness or depression, or, and that pain motivates change. So, not that I want you in pain, but numbing is the most dangerous place you can be. And numbing is something that can lead into depression, um, and most definitely becomes your internal rationalization about either why you can't change your life, or or why it's fine, why there's a better time to change your life, why it's okay just to have this, and I don't want to be greedy, and I'm so blessed, and all those excuses we use to rationalize not changing our circumstance. And what I want to say to you is, more than ever, and I did a Monday Mojo about it, Kobe Bryant, and all those people, those 9 people on that helicopter. I think it was 3 young girls at 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5 parents. That those families' lives are forever ruptured, forever changed. They don't get a second chance at life. And, if you've ever had anybody in your life facing any kind of illness or cancer or whatever, everything becomes really easy. Choices become easy about how you spend your time and what really matters and what really bothers you. Um, Life becomes simpler because clarity is there in your face and you realize how precious time is. So, as we sit here in January 31st, I want to just encourage you to be hopeful about change in your life and to think about literally the pain of where you're at. Um, whether it be if you're one of those people, and I know all sorts of them, where you just look at your life, wherever you are in your age, and you look at your life and you say, I just thought it would be different. Um, it passed me by. I'm invisible. I go to bed, I give, and go to bed every night. And all that I feel like is I've let everybody down, including myself. It feels like um, things didn't happen for me, but they happened for other people. Everybody's life seems to be moving forward and I'm stuck. Whether it's people who have gone through divorce or lost a job, or even more, I think some of the women that I find that are in the most pain is they're at the pinnacle of their career. They got that big promotion. They're killing it in their career, and they really thought it would feel different. Or maybe it cost them a relationship, or maybe it cost them being the mother they thought they wanted to be, or maybe they'll feel very alone at the top. It just doesn't look like I thought it was going to look like. It doesn't feel like I thought it was going to feel like. It's not as fun as I thought it would be. And then quickly rationalization comes in, and we make it okay, and we just don't think about it anymore. And we stay in here in rationalization instead of feeling the pain of where we're at, and that desire and that little light of hope that says, I want more. I want it to be different. I believe maybe it could be different, but then we immediately go from rationalization to black and white thinking. But if I made a change, I'd lose my job. If I did that, I wouldn't have time. We don't have the money to risk losing my job or changing my job or this or that. And I got to tell you, most of the women I work with, they don't change their job. They actually are doing better at their jobs. So a lot of them get promotions after, or they readjust their job. Some of them add to their job and do like a side hustle because they're found their purpose or passion, but mostly they don't change anything. One of the things that is so unbelievably amazing, and I think I'm going to do a Facebook Live just on this, but is that it's not about being more productive. That's not what this work is about. It's about being more centered. And by the way, it equals being more productive. When you're more centered, you are more productive. It's not about time management. It's not about time management at all. In fact, that's the worst tool you can use to get out of crazy busy. It's not about changing your job or burnout, or it's not about any of those things. It's really about getting yourself recentered and reprogramming the way you've been living your life, because it's not healthy and it's not putting you anywhere in it. And what crazy busy or getting out of crazy busy and balance, or getting out of crazy busy, is being at the center of your life and making decisions based on your values, your desires, and your needs getting met. And that sounds crazy for a lot of people because everybody else's needs get met before I even think about my needs. And I ask somebody like, what is it, what is holding you back from doing something for yourself? Well, as soon as the work gets done, and I just can't, I go into every day and I have this to-do list. And as soon as the work gets done, then I can give myself something. I can do something fun. I can go out with a friend. I can take a vacation, blah, 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 as soon as the work gets done. Well, I say this to all my clients. I think I said it to one just last week. The work is never going to get done. That's not it. You aren't a crazy busy woman. None of the people that come to me in my program are struggling in their career or not making enough money. Most of them are very successful women who have a lot going on and a lot of plates up in the air. And the work is never going to get done. The work will always be there, because haven't you found out, like, you finish a huge milestone and you walk in the next morning and you expect some air to breathe and some space. And guess what? Something else comes in and there's another thing that needs to be done. The work never gets done. And that's not depressing. It's just an acceptance. If you accept that the work's never get done, then how can I work differently? How can I work more efficient? How can I stop believing that the only way to get anything done is to work my ass off? How can I stop believing that the only way I can make money or get my work done or be successful is to work my ass off? Because most crazy busy women got to where they are by working their ass off and making sacrifices along the way. But what they don't realize is when you get to a certain place in your career, you don't need to do that anymore. And you can readjust because you know how to do this. You're an expert. You can pace yourself in a different way. You can trust yourself. You can rely on other people and build amazing teams underneath you to free you up to do the work that only your gifts and talents can do. Because there's so much you're doing in your life and in your work right now that absolutely 90% of the population could do. There is 10% or 15 or 20% of gold that makes you, is your secret sauce, your superpower, makes you super rock star, is that 20% or 15% that you do better than anybody else, whether it's strategy or creative or whatever you're doing, managing people, whatever it is. And that is what they're paying you for. That's what you need to do more of, not all the other stuff that you've carried along through your career and are afraid to let go because nobody does it the way you do it. Or the biggest lie we tell ourselves is it'll take me just as long to explain how to do this than to just do it myself. And that is bullshit. Excuse my language. Because the first time that may be true, but that then you have paid it forward. Not only are you giving somebody who works with you opportunity to grow and learn, but you're taking it off your plate after that first time you spent showing them how to do it. And nobody writes like me. Whatever your job is, I've heard it all. I've heard all the excuses. What matters, what brings you joy, and how can you work more efficiently and more centered is going to change and open up space in your brain, your heart, your life, for all sorts of new and exciting things. And you're going to be a better manager, you're a better leader, you're going to be better at your work. Because we're dealing from a calm place. And we talk about this a lot in some of the videos of making decisions from a calm lake. And when we're stressed out all the time, and we've got so many balls in the air, we're not present, we're not making decisions from a calm lake. We're making it in turbulent water. And guess what? We've gotten really good at that. But when you make a decision from a calm lake, you're seeing the horizon. You are at a place of creativity and invention and ideation, and you're in an inspiring, powerful, you're in your power and not in survival mode. That is the woman I want you to bring to work. And that only can happen when we clear the mechanism and stop behaving like we're still proving ourselves in this world, and own our power and give ourselves permission to have a life too. And there are easy steps that they hurt because you're like ripping off skin and layers that you've held onto that don't serve you anymore. And change can be painful when you face things that aren't working for you in your life, but you've made yourself think that they're working for you. So there is a process, a metamorphosis that can happen when we go about the deliberate work of change. And that deliberate work of change is really stopping lying to ourselves, giving ourselves permission to act differently and behave differently in this world, and staking a claim that your life can be different and that you can dream your biggest dreams and that they can come true or manifest. I want you to know that this second chapter in your life, and I say second chapter because I don't know, it's just stuck with me. The second chapter can be exactly the same as the first chapter because you only know struggle and hard work, or can be completely, awesomely, powerfully, joyfully, magnificently different and amazing. And it honestly, at the end of the day, it's these minor adjustments that are made that are so profound that they unlock everything in your life. And you get to decide whether you want to just keep on slogging through and have chapter 2 in your life look exactly like chapter 1, or guess what, even worse, because burnout does come and bitchiness does come. I did a whole Facebook Live on the roads to crazy busy, and it's bitter, bitch, burnout, or balance. Which one are you going to choose? And they're all roads that lead you. If you don't change your life, you're going to go down multiple ones versus balance. And balance is a deliberate destination you have to consciously choose to live your life differently. So it's a choice. And I am going to give you lots of tips, and I'm going to announce something next week that I'm going to do that is kind of a different than a Facebook Live. It's almost like a mini seminar with Q&A that I want people to join into. I'm working out the final details, but you would have to sign up for it. And it'll give you like the top 8 things that can change your life and that are the patterns of women who have transferred from crazy busy to crazy busy and imbalance. And that's coming. But what I wanted to do today, I really just wanted to I know this is going to sound crazy. I want you to find your pain and I want you to honor it. I want you to feel it. I want you to honor it. And I want you to think about when you look at the next 3, 1, 5, 10, 15, 20 years of your life, is how you're living it right now good enough for you? Is it worthy of you and your family and your life and your friends? And is it worthy, or is it missing some really important things like joy and peace and downtime and hobbies and relationships or connection or presence or whatever? Damn right, joy and fun, possibility and surprises and serendipity? Or is it a slog and survival mode and gotten it through and after this project and kicking the ball down on when you're going to have that moment where you get something you really want and make time for something you really want? So I want you to feel your pain. I want you to sit with your pain this weekend and think about what this life that you have carved out that has a lot of good things going on in it is costing you. And what are you willing to do to change that? Because the help is here, right here, right here, right here, to help you out of it and to imagine a different possibility. And I'd love to get on the phone with you. I'd love to talk to you about just what you need to break through, what's blocking you from changing your life, and give you some tools. It's a free coaching call, lasts an hour. You just have to go to crazybusywomen.com and book it. You'll get my calendar and you can book a spot. And I can help you out because I really, 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 really want to help women change their life. And it's my purpose. It's my gift. I learned it myself. I've studied it. I've, become an expert in this arena, and I want to share it with you. So let me do that. Let me show you and hold your hand and take you down that road, that different road, because it's possible. Okay. So I'm done. I want to say goodbye and happy January 31st. February 1st is going to be my January 1st, where I'm going to start some new things because I get to choose the date that I choose to own and set goals and change things. Okay. So who wants to join me with February 1st being my January 1st? Post here if any of this resonated with you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.